Anything green in my teeth? Good, no.
Just ate a bunch of ketchup chips.
I have a hard nipple again.
Can you stop that? Hey everybody, I'm Michelle Carre.
And I'm Matt Carre.
This is Riding in Cars with Cars. We are the car group from Redline Real Estate, and this show is all about helping you connect with your community. Today, we are going to pick up the guys from 948 Brewing, and we're going to talk about why they're called 948 Brewing.
Which is pretty cool, especially for you old Airdronians.
Yes, a little old school in there. And yeah, we're just going to talk to them about their business, their beer, and get to know them a little bit.
948 Brewing. Boys, welcome to the car.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have Dave and Kyle in the car. Dave, you're my seatmate.
Yes.
And Kyle, you're up in the front.
Oh.
Tell us about the name, though, for anyone who's like, huh? As they're watching this.
948 is the original prefix for Airdrie phone numbers. So back in 70s, 80s, and most of the 90s, the only phone numbers that existed all started with 948. So you're hanging out with your friends and family or whoever else in town and local businesses and everything else. It was all 948. So when you exchanged phone numbers, everybody gave you 4 digits, and that was it.
Very
Back
confusing.
In the easy days.
Very confusing for somebody who moved here in 2006. And I asked Michelle for her phone number, and she said 8215.
Yeah.
I went, is there more to that?
There is.
I guess there's no second date. She's just telling me it's 8215. So there we go.
How did you two decide to get into the beer brewing industry? I'm sure it's a fantasy for a lot of people, but the actual doing of it is probably quite a lot of work and complicated. So what made you take the leap?
And who's the brewmaster? Or are you both the brewmaster?
We started out doing just a homebrew course. Dave was already making wine, and we found a Groupon and started doing that. And that was 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it all started from a Groupon.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I started talking to a few more people online and everything else, and took it a little too far and started making my own everything from scratch. So I've developed I don't know what we're at, 70 recipes now, and
Oh, wow.
everything over the last 10 years. And yeah, a lot of them are repeats that we do because they're so popular, and everything with friends, and yeah, so
A lot of trial and error.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
And the trial must be really hard. Eh?
Yeah,
It
it's
is,
it's
yeah.
It's
rough.
hard the next day.
Yeah.
It's hard the next day.
Yeah, it depends how much trying we do, but and I'm a really good assistant, so Kyle's definitely the inventor of a lot of our recipes. So I've gotten really good at helping out with the grains and figuring out, confirming what he's thinking it's going to work anyway. So
Nice.
So is there one beer that you guys have done, and maybe it's not even one of your beers of today, that you're like, that was it, that was money?
There's been a few, definitely a few standouts. Commercially now, we've made a jalapeno pale ale.
Oh.
And the first time I made it, I thought it was just terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all, but again, you either dump it down the drain or have some friends over and try and get rid of it. So I had a bunch of friends over, and they destroyed it.
Really?
Yeah, it disappeared. And so I was like, well, maybe I'm onto something. So it's just got a really nice bit of heat to the finish. So you get a big jalapeno smell when you're going to drink the beer, and it just finishes a little warm, but not so warm that you can't drink more, and it just brings you back every time.
Well, it's kind of like having the spicy nuts on the bar table. You just have to keep drinking.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
to quench the thirst, right?
Yeah.
So a jalapeno pale ale. Nice.
Right. So the naming was a lot of the fun part too. Is it's creative enough to invent some new flavor profiles. Of course the traditionals as well. But so we named this California Sunburn. Little bit of a hint that it's think about a sunburn. It's got a little pinch. Kind of the same idea with the jalapeno. You get that heat. You get that little bite. But it's there. But you're still enjoying it. But like you're gonna enjoy California. But you're probably gonna get a sunburn. But that's okay. So that's been kind of the fun part too. Is inventing names for some of the creations. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Beer helps with that too.
You know, after 4 or 5 beers, we are so creative. We come up with the best names. Problem is, we can't remember them the next day.
You got to write them down.
You gotta write them down.
Forgotten a few.
Have it. Like, where can people pick this up?
So Thumbprint puts us on rotation.
Okay.
Currently on tap at Main Street, downtown Airdrie.
Oh, wow.
Main Street Beer and Barbecue.
Yeah.
Yep, Main
Okay.
Street Beer and Barbecue.
Main Street has our ESB on tap. So it's an English style bitter. Don't let the name fool you. If you're expecting an IPA, it's not that.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. Yeah,
It's just not.
it's much more balanced. It's made to be a nice, easy drinking beer with a good malt and bitter balance to it. It's not going to slap your face with hops and just put you off if you're not a hop guy.
I'm not a hops guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a hops guy.
Sorso has the other two that we still have available. They've got our Lord Grey Stout, so it's a stout infused with Earl Grey tea.
I was going to say, why Lord Grey? Now I know why.
And actually, the Earl Grey blend was Sorso's Earl Grey blend. So
It's
if
their
you-
house blend.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's their
Cool.
tea.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
their tea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we sourced it from them to make the beer.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
nice.
is
Good
so
for you
cool.
guys.
Talk
That's
about
awesome.
keeping it local.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then, did you say there were 2 on tap at Sorso? What's the other one?
The Patio Crusher Kolsch. So it's
Okay.
a very seasonal, easy drinking beer, obviously for the patio.
Yep.
So that's another style that they've got on tap right now. We're very lucky to have 2 taps at a local place like that.
Yeah. So that's 2 on tap at Sorso, and then 1 on tap at Main Street.
Yep.
And then people can also pop by Thumbprint and fill up their growlers with the beer there as well.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So they put us on rotation, as well as Highlander Spirits and Liquor
Over in Cooper's Crossing.
Cooper's Crossing.
That's
yep.
great.
So we get on rotation.
You guys also don't do just beer. You do clothing and apparel as well, which people can pick up at Homegrown Pantry just on First, which is awesome. Love the t-shirts, love the hats. You're wearing one tonight.
Yep.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Fellow Smart Starters as well.
Yep.
So I mean, we were a part of that program, which is also another shout out for supporting local businesses within Airdrie.
Yes, absolutely.
absolutely.
So also deckled here in Airdrie as well by the Stitching Bees.
Yep.
So this is a goal of Kyle and I's to support the local and to make sure that it stays within our communities. So it's big for us.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Well, and I love the fact that you went to Sorso and worked with them on that Earl Grey tea, using their Earl Grey tea. Michelle and I talked about connecting businesses and connecting people, and that's what Riding in Cars with Cars is all about too.
Yeah.
And the fact you guys are doing that on your own, that's near and dear to our heart for sure, and brilliant. So
It's a service that they provide that we need, so we might as well use it because it is local.
yeah,
And
there's strength in numbers.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And the more of us that work together, the better it is. We also find that the other local businesses that we speak with, they may not have something that works for us, but we've run into other businesses that need that service, so we'll end up connecting them. And it's been really interesting to see all these little pieces come together and grow that community.
Yeah, and that's awesome, man. When you serve others, which is what you're doing,
Literally and
only
figuratively.
yeah, only and literally. But when you do that, good things will come.
Yeah.
Good things will come. So now we need to get to Wayne Hansen and do like the beef rib brew, right, Wayne?
We're small.
Mm-hmm.
Airdrie started small. We're starting small.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not looking to take over the world.
Yeah.
We're here to give our knowledge and our product into Airdrie, and that's what matters. So we'll slowly, organically grow within Airdrie, and then be able to support our production. Right.
That's
Our-
great.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Here's a little rapid fire for you. What's the best one piece of advice you've ever been given?
An empty can rattles loudest. In sales, it's listening to the customer, listening to what they
Yeah.
want, and rather than rattling like an empty can,
Yeah.
you can listen and then be able to deliver.
And if the can's rattling because it's empty, they want more.
You gotta fill it.
Yeah.
You gotta fill the can.
Awesome.
So one of the things that I want to make note of here is that when you go into Sorso or when you go into Main Street Beer and Barbecue and you order a 948 brew, they will go to the tap, which is a phone, an old rotary phone handle. I just love that. I think it's brilliant. The marketing, the whole thing, it makes my heart sing. And I have to applaud you for that because I love it so much.
Yeah, we had an idea that we wanted to tie in, obviously, you know, the name of the company, to have a little bit of a theme, not overdo it.
Yeah.
Be a little bit different than, you know, just a wood tap handle.
Right.
Tied it in. A lot of good response, obviously, once we tell our story, explain how our background works, and then we show the tap handle. It sinks in.
That must seal the deal.
Yeah.
When you put it down, and here's the tap handle.
And here's the tap handle. Yeah.
That's brilliant marketing. What's the one movie, if it's on, you're going to watch it over and over again?
Mine's Contact.
What about you?
Braveheart.
Nice.
Yeah.
You've got the Braveheart beard, I feel.
Yeah, that was kind of a little bit of a story with that. It was when Kyle and I started this conversation and idea. Thought we were a little bit closer to opening, so the idea was a playoff beard. So when we opened the doors officially on the whole brew house and the tap room, that I would take the beard off. So as we can see,
You still have the beard.
I still have the beard. It's a little long, but hopefully this summer we'll be able to trim it, if not get rid of it completely.
That's amazing. So that is the goal. You are doing contract brewing right now, but the goal has been and remains to have your own brewing location and tap room for people to come to.
That's right.
It has to be here in Airdrie as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if it was anywhere
Well,
else.
Yeah, this doesn't fit the theme.
So can you promise me that your business cards say just the last 4 digits of your phone number and you have a 948 number?
We do.
That's a good story too.
It's actually fitting. So our phone number is 948-2337, which is actually beer.
You got 948 beer?
Yes.
This is meant to be. I mean, obviously you asked for it, but still, the fact that it was available.
It took about a month and a half to 2 months of negotiating and waiting for the right telephone number to become available.
Yes.
But
That doesn't happen every day.
No.
It doesn't. The guy on the phone told me I should go buy a lotto ticket, but we secured it. It was another one minor marketing part that we wanted to have, obviously, to tie in, but one was to have a 948 number.
Yes, which are hard to come by on their own.
Right, but to have one that's 948 beer is just icing on the cake.
That's just so magical. That just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
So Matt and I were discussing what song are we going to dance and sing along to, knowing that you two would be fully on board with that, obviously.
Yeah.
And the only song we could come up with was Hold My Beer by Aaron Burchett.
Perfect. We actually know him.
Cool.
And we got to do a tasting on the tour bus when he was here in Calgary a couple months ago. And ended up wearing one of our 948 shirts on stage. And
Nice.
hung out after the show. And it was super awesome. Super great guy. And
Did you hold his beer?
No.
While he kissed your girlfriend?
No, definitely not.
It is a good tune.
Hold my beer. Dave and Kyle, I want to thank you guys for being in the car with us today. We are here at Main Street Beer and Barbecue. We're dropping you guys back off, and we're actually going to go in and I think we're going to try. I figured it was better that I tried it after we drove,
Good
not
plan.
before we drove around.
Yes.
Definitely.
But wish you guys all the success in the world. And I think what you're doing, trying to connect yourselves with other businesses, absolutely brilliant. I just think it's even from a business standpoint, but just from a personal standpoint, brilliant on you guys. So good for you for doing it that way.
Well,
Thanks
thanks
for
for the
having
time,
us.
guys. We appreciate it.
No worries.
99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around, 98 bottles of beer on the wall.
Want to do ring ring? 948 Brewing Company calling. What's your digits, girl?